Welcome back to our journey through Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. In Book 1, Marcus expressed gratitude for those who shaped him. In Book 2, he confronted mortality and the urgency of living well before time runs out. Book 3 continues these themes but focuses on something we all struggle with: wasted time and distraction. Marcus asks himself hard questions. Are you using your time wisely? Are you living with purpose? Or are you distracted by things that don't matter, seeking approval from people who don't care, worrying about a legacy that won't last? Book 3 is about cutting through the noise. It's about understanding that life is short, your purpose is clear, and most of what consumes your attention is meaningless. This book is direct. It's challenging. It's Marcus being brutally honest with himself about what matters and what doesn't. Let's begin. Book 3 of Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, Section 1. We ought to consider not only that our life is daily wasting away, and a smaller part of it is left, but we must also consider this: if a man should live longer, it is quite uncertain whether the understanding will still continue sufficient for the comprehension of things, and retain the power of contemplation, which strives to acquire the knowledge of the divine and the human. For if he shall begin to fall into dotage, respiration and nutrition, and imagination, appetite, and whatever else there is of the kind, will not fail. But the power of making use of ourselves, and filling up the measure of our duty, and clearly separating all appearances, and considering whether a man should now depart from life, and whatever else of the kind absolutely requires a disciplined reason, all this is already extinguished. We must make haste then, not only because we are daily nearer to death, but also because the conception of things and the understanding of them cease first. Marcus begins Book 3 with a sobering thought. Not only is life short, but even if you live a long time, your mind might go first. Your body might keep functioning. You'll still breathe, eat, feel desires. But your ability to think clearly, to understand philosophy, to make good decisions, that might fade. So you can't just say, "I'll figure it out when I'm older. I'll become wise later." Because later, you might not have the mental capacity. Marcus is saying the time to think, to learn, to grow is now. While you still have your mind, while you can still understand these ideas, don't wait. Your clarity won't last forever. This isn't meant to frighten you. It's meant to wake you up. Use your mind while you have it. Don't waste your best years on trivial things. Section 2. We ought to observe also that even the things which follow after the things which are produced according to nature contain something pleasing and attractive. For instance, when bread is baked, some parts are split at the surface, and these parts which thus open, and have a certain fashion contrary to the purpose of the baker's art, are beautiful in a manner and in a peculiar way excite a desire for eating. And again, figs, when they are quite ripe, gape open, and in the ripe olives the very circumstance of their being near to rottenness adds a peculiar beauty to the fruit dot and the ears of grain. Bending down, and the lion's eyebrows, and the foam which flows from the mouth of wild boars, and many other things, though they are far from being beautiful if a man should examine them severally, still because they are consequent upon the things which are formed by nature, help to adorn them and they please the mind. So that if a man should have a feeling and deeper insight with respect to the things which are produced in the universe, there is hardly one of those which follow by way of consequence, which will not seem to him to be in a manner disposed so as to give pleasure. This is a beautiful passage. Marcus is saying, even imperfection has beauty. When bread bakes, it cracks and splits. That wasn't the baker's plan, but those cracks make the bread look delicious. When figs get really ripe, they burst open, almost rotting, and that's when they're most appealing. Grain bends under its own weight. A lion's fierce eyebrows. Foam from a wild boar's mouth. These aren't conventionally beautiful. Some are flaws, some are signs of decay, but they're natural, and there's something pleasing about them. Marcus's point: if you look at nature deeply enough, you'll see that everything has its place, even imperfection, even decay. This applies to life. The wrinkles on an old face, the scar from an injury, the consequences of mistakes. These aren't separate from beauty, they're part of it. Stop expecting everything to be perfect and polished. Nature isn't like that. Life isn't like that. There's beauty in the rough, the real, the imperfect. Section 3. And he will see even the real gaping jaws of wild beasts, with no less pleasure than those which painters and sculptors show by imitation. And in an old woman and an old man, he will be able to see a certain maturity and comeliness, and the attractive loveliness of young persons he will be able to look on with chaste eyes. And many such things will present themselves, not pleasing to every man, but to him only who has become truly familiar with nature and her works. If you truly understand nature, you won't just see beauty in youth and perfection, you'll see it in old age, in the maturity of an elderly person's face, in the lines and wrinkles that tell a story. You'll even see beauty in dangerous things, like the jaws of wild animals, Not because you want to be harmed, but because you appreciate the raw power and naturalness of it. Most people only see beauty in youth, in smoothness, in what's new and shiny. But Marcus says, if you really understand how nature works, you'll see beauty everywhere, in decay, in aging, in the fierce and the wild, in things most people overlook or avoid. This is about perspective, about training yourself to see deeper than surface appearances, to appreciate life in all its forms, not just the comfortable or conventionally attractive parts. Section 4. Hippocrates, after curing many diseases himself fell sick and died. The Chaldeans foretold the deaths of many, and then fate caught them too. Alexander and Pompey and Julius Caesar, after so often completely destroying whole cities, and in battle cutting to pieces many 10,000s of cavalry and infantry, themselves too at last departed from life. Heraclitus, after so many speculations on the conflagration of the universe, was filled with water internally and died covered with mud, and lice destroyed Democritus, and other lice killed Socrates. What does all this mean? You went on board, you set sail, you've come to shore. Get out. If indeed to another life, there is no want of gods even there. But if to a state without sensation, you will cease to be held by pains and pleasures, and to be a slave to the vessel, which is as much inferior as that which serves is superior, for the one is intelligence and deity, the other is earth and corruption. Marcus lists famous, powerful, wise people and reminds himself, they all died. Hippocrates, the father of medicine, who healed countless people, got sick and died. Astrologers who predicted others' deaths couldn't escape their own. Alexander the Great, Pompey, Julius Caesar, conquerors who seemed unstoppable, all dead. Heraclitus, the philosopher who wrote about the universe being fire, died from water retention. Democritus, who theorized about atoms, was eaten by lice. Even Socrates, the wisest of men, was killed. What's the point? You boarded the ship of life. You sailed. Now you're reaching shore. It's time to get off. Don't cling to the voyage. It's ending whether you like it or not. Where are you going? Maybe to another life, in which case the gods are there too. Or maybe to nothing, to non-existence, in which case you won't feel pain or pleasure anymore. You'll be free from this body, which is just earth and decay anyway. Marcus is saying, death comes for everyone. No amount of power, wisdom, or achievement can stop it. So accept it. Don't fear it. It's just the natural end of the journey. Section 5. Do not waste the remainder of your life in thoughts about others, unless you are doing so with reference to some common benefit. For you are losing the opportunity of doing something else when you have such thoughts as, what is such a person doing, and why, and what is he saying, and what is he thinking, and what is he contriving? All such things lead you astray from the observation of your own ruling center. We ought then to check in the series of our thoughts everything that is without purpose and useless, but most of all, the over-curious feeling and the malignant. And a man should accustom himself to think only of those things about which if one should suddenly ask, what are you now thinking about? You could immediately answer with perfect openness. So that from your words it would plainly appear that everything in you is simple and benevolent, and befitting a social animal who cares not for thoughts about pleasure or sensual enjoyments generally, nor has any rivalry or envy or suspicion, or anything else for which you would blush if you were to say you had it in your mind. This is one of the most practical pieces of advice in all of Stoicism. Stop wasting your life thinking about what other people are doing. What's that person up to? What are they thinking? What are they planning? Why did they say that? Unless you're thinking about them for some useful purpose, for the common good, you're wasting mental energy. You're losing the opportunity to focus on yourself, on your own mind, on your own character. Marcus says, filter your thoughts. Cut out everything purposeless and useless, especially curiosity about others and malicious thoughts. Here's the test. If someone suddenly asked you, what are you thinking about right now? Could you answer honestly without embarrassment? If your thoughts are simple, kind, and appropriate for a social being, yes. But if you're consumed by envy, by gossip, by judgment, by lustful thoughts, by suspicion, you'd be ashamed to admit it. Train yourself to think only thoughts you'd be willing to speak aloud. That's the standard. That's mental discipline. How much of our mental energy goes to worrying about what others think of us, judging them, comparing ourselves, imagining scenarios? All wasted. All distraction from the real work of improving yourself. Section 6. For such a man, no longer delaying or putting off being among the best, is a kind of priest and minister of the gods, using too that deity which is placed within him, which makes the man uncontaminated by pleasures, unharmed by any pain, untouched by any insult, feeling no wrong, a fighter in the noblest fight, one who cannot be overpowered by any passion, deeply dyed with justice, accepting with all his soul everything which happens, and is assigned to him. And he does not often, nor yet without great necessity and for the general interest, imagine what another says or does or thinks. For it is only what belongs to himself that he makes the matter for his activity, and he constantly thinks of that which is allotted to himself, out of the sum total of things, and he makes his own acts fair, and he is persuaded that his own portion is good. For the lot which is assigned to each man is carried along with him, and carries him along with it. And he remembers also that every rational animal is his kinsman, and that to care for all men is according to man's nature, and a man should hold on to the opinion, not of all, but of those only who confessedly live according to nature. But as to those who live not so, he always bears in mind what kind of men they are, both at home and abroad, both by night and by day, and what they are and with what men they live. Accordingly he does not value the praise which comes from such men, since they are not even satisfied with themselves. A person who stops delaying, who commits to being their best self now, becomes like a priest serving the divine. They have a God within them, their reason, their ruling mind, and they honor it. This makes them uncontaminated by cheap pleasures, unharmed by pain, untouched by insults, a fighter in the greatest fight, the fight for virtue. No passion can overpower them. They're deeply committed to justice. They accept everything that happens. And here's key, they don't constantly wonder what others are doing or thinking. They focus on themselves, on their own actions, on their own assignments in life. They make their own behavior excellent. They trust that their portion in life is good, whatever it is. They remember that all rational beings are family, that caring for humanity is natural. But they don't seek approval from everyone, only from those who truly live according to nature, according to reason and virtue. As for those who don't live that way, who live carelessly and selfishly, this person knows what they're like. They see them clearly, and because of that, they don't care about praise from such people. Why would you? Those people aren't even satisfied with themselves. This is freedom. To live by your own standards, to focus on your own character, to not need validation from people who don't share your values, to work on yourself, serve the common good, and let others think what they want. Section 7. Do not act unwillingly, nor selfishly, nor without examination, nor with reluctance. Do not let your thoughts be adorned with superficial eloquence. Be neither a great talker nor a busybody. Further, let the deity which is within you be the guardian of a living being, manly and mature, a statesman, a Roman, a ruler, who has taken his post like a man waiting for the signal which summons him from life, ready to go, needing neither oath nor any man's testimony. And be cheerful, needing no external help nor the tranquility which others give. A man must stand upright, not be kept upright by others. Simple rules for living well. Don't act unwillingly. If you're going to do something, commit to it. Don't drag your feet. Don't do things half-heartedly. Don't be selfish. Think about others, about the common good. Don't act without thinking. Examine your actions before you take them. Don't be reluctant about your duties. If it's your job to do something, do it without complaining. Don't dress up your words with fancy language just to sound smart. Be clear and honest. Don't talk too much. Don't be a busybody, meddling in everyone's affairs. Let your inner self, your reason, be like a guardian. Be manly, mature, someone who's taken their position in life seriously, someone who's ready for death at any moment, who doesn't need to swear oaths or have others vouch for them, someone whose word and character speak for themselves. Be cheerful, not because external things are making you happy, but because you've cultivated inner peace. Don't depend on others to give you tranquility. Stand upright on your own. Don't lean on others for your stability. Be self-sufficient in character. This is the Stoic ideal: independent, responsible, clear-minded, ready for anything, needing nothing external to maintain your peace. Section 8. If you shall find in human life anything better than justice, truth, temperance, fortitude, and in general anything better than your own mind's self-satisfaction in the things which it enables you to do according to right reason, and in the condition that is assigned to you without your own choice, if, I say, you see anything better than this, turn to it with all your soul and enjoy that which you have found to be the best. But if nothing appears to be better than the deity which is planted in you, which has subjected to itself all your appetites, which examines all your impressions, which, as Socrates said, has detached itself from the persuasions of sense and has submitted itself to the gods and cares for mankind, if you find everything else smaller and of less value than this, give place to nothing else. For if you once diverge and incline to it, you will no longer without distraction be able to prefer that good thing which is your proper possession and your own. For it is not right that anything of any other kind, such as praise from the many, or power or enjoyment of pleasure, should come into competition with that which is rationally and socially good. All these things, even though they may seem to fit for a little while, suddenly gain the upper hand and carry you away. Do you, therefore, simply and freely choose the better and hold to it? Here's Marcus's challenge to himself and to us. If you can find anything better than virtue, justice, truth, self-control, and courage, anything better than living according to reason and accepting your fate with grace, then go for it. Chase that instead. But if you can't find anything better, if nothing compares to having a well-ordered mind that controls your desires, that examines your thoughts, that serves the gods and cares for humanity, then don't give place to anything else. Don't let anything compete with virtue. Not praise from crowds, not power, not pleasure. These things might seem appealing for a moment, but they take over. They carry you away. They distract you from what's truly good. So choose simply and freely. Choose the better thing. Choose virtue. And hold to it. Marcus is saying, you know what's truly valuable. Deep down, you know that character matters more than comfort, that integrity matters more than applause, that living well matters more than living pleasantly. So stop wavering. Stop being tempted by lesser things. Commit to what you know is best. This is the fundamental choice we all face constantly. Will I do what's right or what's easy? What's noble or what's popular? What builds? Character or what brings pleasure? Choose character every time. Section 9. Never value anything as profitable to yourself which shall compel you to break your promise, to lose your self-respect, to hate any man, to suspect, to curse, to act the hypocrite, to desire anything which needs walls and curtains. For he who has preferred to everything else his own intelligence and demon, and the worship of its excellence, acts no tragic part, does not groan, will not need either solitude or much company, and what is chief of all, he will live without either pursuing or flying from death. But whether for a longer or a shorter time he shall have the soul enclosed in the body, he cares not at all. For even if he must depart immediately, he will go as readily as if he were going to do anything else which can be done with decency and order, taking care of this only all through life, that his thoughts turn not away from anything which belongs to an intelligent being and a member of a civil community. Here's a powerful filter for decisions. Never consider something profitable, never think it's a good deal if it would require you to break your word, lose your self-respect, hate someone, become suspicious, act like a hypocrite, desire things you'd have to hide behind walls and curtains. If pursuing something would require any of these, it's not worth it, no matter what you'd gain. The person who values their own mind and reason above everything else, who worships excellence of character, doesn't live dramatically. They don't moan and complain. They don't need to be alone, but they also don't need constant company. They're self-sufficient. And most importantly, they don't fear death, but they also don't seek it. Whether they live a long time or die tomorrow, it doesn't matter. They're ready either way. If death comes now, fine. They'll go calmly as if they were just moving on to the next task. Their only concern throughout life is this, that their thoughts stay focused on being a rational, social being. This is ultimate freedom, to not be controlled by fear of death or desperate clinging to life, to simply live well each day and be ready for whatever comes. How much of what we do is driven by fear of death, fear of missing out, desperate accumulation of wealth and status as if we could take it with us? Marcus is saying, let it go. Live well, be ready. That's all you need. Section 10. In the mind of one who is chastened and purified, you will find no corrupt matter, nor impurity, nor any sore skinned over. Nor is his life incomplete when fate overtakes him, as one may say of an actor who leaves the stage before ending and finishing the play. Besides, there is in him nothing servile, nor affected, nor too closely bound to other things, nor yet detached from other things. Nothing worthy of blame, nothing which seeks a hiding place. The mind that's been disciplined and purified is clean. No corruption hiding inside, no festering wounds covered over, no pretending everything is fine when it's not. And when death comes to this person, their life isn't incomplete. They're not like an actor who leaves the stage before the play ends. They've lived fully in whatever time they had. There's nothing servile in them, nothing slavish, nothing fake or affected. They're not too attached to things, but also not artificially detached, not pretending not to care. There's nothing blameworthy in them, nothing they feel they need to hide. This is integrity. This is wholeness. A mind that's clean, a life that's complete regardless of length, a character with nothing to hide. Most people have corruption they're trying to hide, wounds they're covering up, attachments they know are unhealthy but can't let go of. Most people feel their life would be incomplete if they died today because they've been putting off living authentically. Marcus is describing the opposite, someone who could die today with no regrets because they've been living honestly all along. Someone whose inner life matches their outer life. Someone with nothing to be ashamed of. That's the goal. Not perfection, but integrity, alignment, honesty, cleanliness of mind. Section 11. Reverence the faculty which produces opinion. On this faculty it entirely depends whether there shall exist in your ruling part any opinion inconsistent with nature and the constitution of the rational animal. And this faculty promises freedom from hasty judgment, and friendship towards man, and obedience to the gods. Your ability to form opinions, to judge things, to interpret events, this is everything. This faculty determines whether your mind will be aligned with nature and reason, or twisted by false beliefs. This faculty, when used well, gives you three things. Freedom from hasty judgment. You won't jump to conclusions. You'll see clearly before deciding. Friendship toward humanity. You won't hate people or write them off. You'll understand them. Obedience to the divine. You'll accept what fate brings. You'll trust the order of things. Everything depends on how you judge what happens to you. The event itself is neutral. Your opinion about it determines whether you suffer or remain at peace. Someone insults you. That's just words in the air. Your opinion that it's terrible, that it diminishes you, that causes your suffering. You lose money. That's just a change in numbers. Your opinion that it's catastrophic, that determines your emotional state. This is your power, not to control events, but to control your judgments about events. Master this, and you master your life. Guard this faculty. Protect it. Don't let it form opinions hastily or based on falsehood. Keep it aligned with reason and nature. This is the heart of Stoic practice. Watch your mind. Examine your judgments. Choose your opinions carefully. Section 12. Throw away all empty pursuits. Use every moment as if it were your last. Common sense, justice, and a mind that interprets everything according to its true value. Simple, direct, clear. Stop wasting time on meaningless activities. Every moment matters. Treat each one as if you won't get another. 3 things to focus on. Common sense, practical wisdom, good judgment, justice, fairness, doing right by others. A mind that sees things as they truly are, not as they appear. That values what's truly valuable and dismisses what's not. That's it. That's the whole philosophy in one sentence. Stop chasing empty goals. Live now. Think clearly. Act justly. See truly. Everything else is noise. Section 13. To the ruling faculty of your soul, be indifferent to the motions in the flesh, whether of pleasure or of pain. Let it not unite with them, but let it circumscribe itself and limit those feelings to their parts. But when these feelings rise up to the mind by virtue of that other sympathy that naturally exists in a body which is all one, then you must not strive to resist the sensation, for it is natural. But let not your ruling part add to the sensation the opinion that it is either good or bad. Your body will feel pleasure and pain. That's natural. Don't try to stop those sensations. But your mind, your ruling faculty, should stay separate. It should observe those feelings without adding judgment. When pleasure comes, don't say, "This is good, I need more of this." When pain comes, don't say, "This is terrible, I can't bear this." The sensation itself is just information. Your body's signaling something. It's not good or bad in itself. Your mind's judgment makes it good or bad. This is the practice. Feel what you feel, but don't add a story to it. Don't amplify it with opinion. You stub your toe. It hurts. That's a fact. But this is awful. My day is ruined. Why does this always happen to me? That's added opinion. That's unnecessary suffering. Separate the sensation from the judgment. Feel what's there. Don't make it worse with your mind. This applies to pleasure too. You eat something delicious. Enjoy it. But don't get attached to it. Don't crave it desperately. Don't think you need it to be happy. The body feels. The mind observes. Keep them separate, and you'll suffer less and enjoy more. Section 14. Live with the gods. And he does live with the gods, who constantly shows to them that his own soul is satisfied with what is assigned to him, and that it does all that the demon wishes, which Zeus has given to every man for his guardian and guide, a portion of himself. And this daemon is every man's understanding and reason. Section 14. Live with the gods. And he does live with the gods, who constantly shows to them that his own soul is satisfied with what is assigned to him, and that it does all that the demon wishes, which Zeus has given to every man for his guardian and guide, a portion of himself. And this daemon is every man's understanding and reason. You live with the gods when you're content with what you've been given, and you follow the guidance of your inner reason. Everyone has a piece of the divine within them. Zeus, or God, or the universe, has placed a guardian in each person. That guardian is your reason, your intelligence, your capacity to think clearly. When you listen to that, when you follow that, You're communing with the divine. You're living with the gods. This doesn't require temples or rituals. It requires listening to your better nature, following reason instead of passion, accepting your circumstances instead of fighting them. You have divinity within you right now. It's your rationality. Honor it, follow it. That's how you live with the gods. Section 15. Are you angry with someone whose armpits stink? Are you angry with someone whose mouth smells foul? What good will this anger do you? He has such a mouth. He has such armpits. Such an emanation must come from such things. But the man has reason, it will be said, and he is able, if he takes pains, to understand wherein he offends. Well then, you also have reason. By your rational faculty, stir up his rational faculty. Show him his error. Admonish him. For if he listens, you will cure him, and there is no need of anger, neither tragic actor nor prostitute. This is both funny and profound. Someone offends you. Maybe they literally smell bad, or maybe they behave badly. Are you going to be angry? What good does your anger do? They have the problem, whether it's body odor or bad behavior. Your anger doesn't fix it. But, you might say, they have reason. They should know better. They could change if they tried. True. And you also have reason, so use your reason to appeal to theirs. Point out the problem calmly. Explain it, help them see. If they listen, great, you've solved the problem. If they don't, well, your anger still wouldn't have helped. There's no need to be dramatic about it. No need to act like you're in a tragedy. No need to play a role. Just address the issue directly and move on. This applies to all conflicts. Someone does something wrong. Your job isn't to be outraged. Your job is to help them see it if possible, and if not, to accept that some people won't change. Anger is wasted energy. Use reason instead. Section 16. As you yourself are a part made to perfect a social system, so let every act of yours be a part which perfects social living. Any action of yours, then, which has no reference either near or remote to social ends, tears your life apart and destroys its unity. It is a kind of sedition, just as a man in a democracy who sets himself apart from the general agreement. You are part of a whole, part of a community, part of humanity. Every action you take should contribute to that whole system, should help the system function. If you act purely selfishly, with no regard for how it affects others, you're tearing apart the unity of life. You're like someone in a democracy who refuses to participate, who works against the common good. This doesn't mean you have to sacrifice yourself constantly. It means recognizing that you're not separate. Your well-being is connected to others' well-being. What harms the whole eventually harms you. So ask yourself, does this action contribute to the common good? Does it support my community? Does it help humanity? If not, reconsider it. You're here not just for yourself, but as part of something larger. This is the Stoic view of ethics. We're fundamentally social beings. Virtue means acting in harmony with that nature. Selfishness is a form of rebellion against what you are. Conclusion. And so ends Book 3 of Meditations. Marcus has challenged us to stop wasting time, to focus on what matters, to recognize that life is short, fame is meaningless, and purpose is found in virtue, not in external achievements. He's reminded us that our minds are ours to control, that we can choose our judgments, our opinions, our interpretations, that this is where our freedom lies. He's shown us that beauty exists everywhere, even in imperfection and decay, that everyone dies no matter how powerful, that we should use our minds while we have them. Most importantly, he's told us, stop obsessing over what others think and do. Focus on your own character. Live according to reason. Accept what comes. Be kind. Be just. Be ready for death. These aren't theoretical ideas. These are daily practices. Today, right now, you can choose to focus on what you control. You can choose to stop wasting mental energy on gossip and comparison. You can choose to do your work with presence and purpose. You can choose to be kind to difficult people, remembering they act from ignorance, not malice. Marcus Aurelius was writing these reminders to himself because he needed them. He struggled with the same things we do: distraction, procrastination, caring too much what others think, getting angry at people, feeling like time was slipping away. But he kept returning to these principles. He kept reminding himself. And that's what made him great. Not perfection, but persistence. So ask yourself, what am I putting my time and energy into? Is it worth it? Am I living according to my values? Or am I distracted by things that won't matter in a year, in a month, in a day? You have a mind. Use it. You have time, but not infinite time. Use it. You have reason. Follow it. Thank you for listening to Book 3 of Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. In Book 4, we'll explore inner peace, retreat into yourself, and finding tranquility regardless of external circumstances. If this resonated with you, please like this video, subscribe to continue the series, and leave a comment. What's one thing you're going to stop wasting time on? Until next time, remember, life is short. Use your mind while you have it. Focus on what matters. Everything else is noise.